Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Get Stoked podcast. My name is Brandon Stolk. I'm your host, and today we're going to be talking about self-reflection and poker. It seems like a very self-explanatory topic. You're just looking at yourself and you're figuring out your strengths, your weaknesses, everything, why you're struggling, why you're playing well, absolutely all of it. That is sometimes much, much easier said than done. We all have our biases, whether we think we're a better player than we are, whether we think we're unlucky, whether we think we're getting lucky, all of it. Absolutely all of it. We're biased. We look through our lens, and sometimes we don't look objectively. It's very, very difficult. It's extremely difficult. It's something that you're going to work on as a poker player. But you've just got to enjoy the ride. Just do what you do. So one thing that I've started doing to enjoy the ride a little bit more is making these little info cards that show up on my Instagram, and they're going to continue to be showing up on my Instagram for the next couple of weeks. Basically, all they do, and they should be inserted right about now, if you're watching on YouTube, is my weekly goal, which is $192 a week, how I did that week, my best and worst day, my biggest score, my current bankroll, my overall kind of where I'm at, and how far I'm behind schedule. As you can see, I am $2,700 behind schedule, which is fine, because that can increase whenever I move up stakes, if I decide to play multiplayer tournaments. There's a lot of factors. And last week was an okay week. I made a little bit. This week, however, has already been a worse week. I'm down about $32. It's been worse. It's been as low as $57, but I'm actually on a little bit of a heater. And this is where we talk about reflection now, because I need to sit down and go, what's my problem? What's my weakness? Why am I losing this week? How much of this is variance? How much of this is within my control? Do I need to study more? And those thoughts, they just keep going. If I studied more, would I be doing better? Am I studying the right thing? Am I studying the wrong thing? What do I need to do to get better? I'm neglecting my podcast. Is that what's best? That way I can improve my win rate? Is it just a mental thing? Is it really bad luck? I ask myself those questions because I'm analytically inclined. And that's my strength. I'm good with numbers. I am. But my weakness comes where I either fall for my own biases, I get too emotional, and sometimes I just don't think. And there's got to be a time where I address those weaknesses in an unbiased way, where I can look at my stat line and go like, this isn't a one or two problem fix. This is a systemic thing. And I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to insert a screenshot right now, blam, of what's going on. And if you see, it's my Zoom stats. It's my Zoom. I'm terrible at Zoom. It's funny because I was like, is my weakness I'm shitty at focusing? Is it my weak starts? Is it my bad hand analysis? I used to play 6 tables at a time. Now I'm forced to play 4. So if I throw in a Zoom, that's me getting my quote-unquote tables in. And then when I saw my Zoom stats, I was like, oh my god, this is the problem. And it's a very fixable problem. It either means I stop playing Zoom. It means I play Zoom if I only have 2 or 3 tables going. It means that I play Zoom when I am more mentally ready, because the hand volumes that I get in on Zoom are about the equivalent of 2 to 3 tables on average. And I am an average poker player, where I can't sit down and just crush it. I need to warm up. I get it now. The way that I view it is in a vacuum. If I talked to 100 random people, I'm probably a better poker player than 99 of them. Just day-to-day life, grandparents, parents, random adults, teenagers, all of them. 1 in 100 would probably be better than me. And that makes sense. I think with the knowledge that I have, I'm in the top 1 or 2%. But what's crazy is in this field of online poker, I am nowhere near that. Nowhere near it. Me being an above average to below average grinder on the 2-cent, 5-cent table limit probably means that I'm in high A ball if it's talking about baseball, or the ECHL for talking about hockey. Not even the AHL, because I'm not even that good yet. Football doesn't have a minor league system. The NBA just installed one. But my point being is, in my field, I am nowhere near the top yet. And I will be the first one to admit that. But in a vacuum, I'm above average. So now that I know that, how do I improve? What are the things that I need to improve? Is it my mental game, where I need to approach each hand differently? Right about now, I'm going to insert a screenshot that I saw. Basically what he said is, after every hand, ask yourself, did I extract as much money as possible? I don't ask myself that question. I get too wrapped up in what happened, the card run out, the bad beat, how stupid my opponent is, and I never sit down and go, did I extract enough value? Not once have I asked myself that question, and maybe that question is going to change how I study. Every time I read something new is, how is this thing that I'm studying going to help me extract value? And that's honestly something that I'm looking forward to applying to my game a little bit more. So let's look at my Zoom stats again really, really quickly. Ooh, those are bad. So this is the adjustment I'm going to make. When I play Zoom, it's only going to be after I have 2 or 3 tables running, and I'm only going to play Zoom once my brain is fully warmed up. It's like me trying to play 7 tables at once after I rolled out of bed. It doesn't work. What I'm also going to work on is changing my mentality a little bit, especially because I know this week is probably going to be a losing week. And I'm going to try my best to extract as much value as possible in every situation, and I'm constantly going to do that. What I'm also going to try is asking myself, what is my edge? Whether it's position, my hand, my opponent's strength, the betting lead. What is my edge? And if I don't have a very, very good edge in this hand or at this table, it probably means I should give up. And we'll just see what happens. Thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Get Stalked podcast. My name is Brandon Stolk. If you have any questions, you can follow me at the Get Stalked podcast on Instagram. You can press subscribe in the bottom corner underneath that post-it note for the channel art that I've made that will be uploaded to YouTube in a couple days. Or just follow me on any kind of podcast listening platform, because there's tons, and I know that my podcast is uploaded pretty much everywhere. Thank you very much for listening. Good luck at the poker tables.